This is a happy family, but there's sadness behind the smiles. They're doomed to spend every day of their lives taken to wooded areas where they're forced to eat al fresco on blankets strewn on the earth, and all because Toyota called this MPV the Picnic. But it's not a bad vehicle, as we'll find out in a minute. But first, let's check out the Picnic's older and bigger brother, the Previa.
There's three models in the range, starting with the GS through to the GX. The first one is standard manual gearbox with automatic offered on the rest of the range. Across the range, the standard specification is twin airbags, a full alarm system. The other two models are 7 seats, with the one I'm sitting in is a 7-seater. The first impressions they find with the Previa is the huge amount of room that you see inside the vehicle, along with a class-leading boot. With Previa, with the engine under the middle, so therefore the people carrying area starts right at the front of the vehicle, hence you get the large boot at the back end. The two back seats which I'm sitting on can also fold up onto the side, which then gives you even more load carrying space should you want to carry a very large item. Right, so let's go and have a look inside the Toyota Picnic and see what this vehicle has to offer. It's a very similar layout to the Previa. As you can see inside the vehicle, it is more like a car. It drives more like a car, and it's a little bit less spacious inside than the Previa. A lot of the customers prefer this sort of size vehicle. It's not so daunting for them, but it still has all the benefits of being able to carry the extra people. Layouts are very similar to the Previa. The specifications again are very similar, with the safety on the twin airbags and the ABS brakes from the GL and upwards. As you can see, even in the Picnic there's plenty of room. The cameraman is sitting right in the back of the vehicle now. There's actually 17 different seating configurations with the Picnic. The back seats will completely come out, and you can actually leave them at home should you want to create a boot.
Every industry has its own Aunt Sally, and it seems that the poor old Nissan Serena isn't much loved by many motoring journalists in this country. But, well, you've read the articles and so have I, but let's start from first principles. Let's look at the good and then maybe look at the not so good facets of the Nissan Serena. And if you've never been in one before, there's a bit of a surprise for you. So let's wipe the slate clean and start afresh. I hate the colour. Thank goodness they make the Nissan Serena in normal colours as well. Okay, so what's the first thing we notice? Acres of leg space. Have you noticed that? Look, you could have a flipping football match in here. The headroom is marvellous. Lovely, light, airy, spacious. And what's more, it's easy to get into the back seat. It's a simple flip and a twist. And they've got not bad leg room as well. But the main reason why people go for a Nissan Serena is when they look up the prices. Now here's our list of the base model prices of brand new MPVs available in the UK now. Number one, maybe surprisingly for you, the Honda Shuttle. We think it's rather expensive for what it is, but if you like Hondas, it's a fine vehicle, $23,445. Underneath that, the new Mercedes V-Class, the big Toyota Previa, the new Renault Espace, followed by the Sintra, the Voyager, not the Grand Voyager, remember these are the base models at $18,250. And then the Ford Galaxy, followed by the Seat Alhambra, cheaper than the Galaxy, but you get aircon as standard. Underneath that, the other variant from Portugal, the VW Charan. Then we have the three variants from Citroën, Peugeot and Fiat, followed by the Mitsubishi Space Wagon, the smaller offering from Toyota, the Picnic, and there at the bottom at number 15, the Nissan Serena. Engines made in Sunderland, the body assembled in Spain, but is it made in heaven for you? Well, wait till you open the driver's door. And maybe a bit of a shock for you if you haven't seen the Serena before. Basically quite a big step up, which is fine because you want to be up high in an MPV, but look where the driver's seat is. It's sitting on top of a huge lump. What's all this about? You're sitting on top of the engine. Well, there are advantages to that. I'll talk about that in a second, but the problem is if you're sat in here and you've got kind of long legs, the thing is when you're resting at lights or you want to move your legs around on a long journey, you find the actual lump of the engine rubbing against the back of your legs here. It's all rather claustrophobic. The strange thing is, if the engine is underneath you here, what's at the front there? Ah, the spare wheel and the battery and the oil dipstick or whatever. Why can't the spare wheel go underneath the back? Because the exhaust and the cat's there. But there are good reasons to put that engine in midship positioning. Nose heaviness is reduced and allows for a more sophisticated front suspension system that really does give a good ride, although bouncy at times, excellent handling and sharp steering. Wind noise, although it looks boxy, is surprisingly low, and its official drag coefficient of 0.35 is similar to many saloons. Well, once you get used to sitting on top of the engine in a Nissan Serena, you are up high and the visibility is excellent. It's good all-round airy feel. You know exactly where you are. You've got these huge wing mirrors, I mean really huge. And actually the view out the back isn't bad at all. This particular model has excellent air conditioning, and the rear seat passengers also have a fan as well, which is a great idea. There are little cubby holes and cup holders all over the place, and the seats can be folded flat or put to the sides to make more space at the back, to make it a load-carrying MPV. But apart from that, you can't actually remove the seats without a lot of fuss, and you can't turn the front ones round like you can in some MPVs. To sum up then, the Nissan Serena is a very able and extremely practical MPV if you don't want a luxurious long-distance cruiser, and you don't need to muck about with swivelling captain's chairs and the like. Nissan have cleverly priced it between the family estates and the other MPVs. It's at its best on school runs or taking the lads to a soccer match with a crate or two in the back. It's not the biggest, but it might be the best for you. Give the Serena a test drive and make up your own mind.